Good morning all. In our today's topic, let us discuss about sound. Right? So, already you know about energy. So, what is energy? Energy means capacity to do work. That we call it as energy. The capacity to do work, we call it as energy. So means here, energy for doing any work, we require energy. In a similar manner, even we require energy for seeing everything present around us. We need energy even for hearing. The form of energy which causes the sensation of vision to the eye, we call it as light. And now sound means it is also a form of energy which causes the sensation of hearing. That we call it as sound. So sound is nothing but a form of energy. A form of energy which causes the sensation of hearing to the ears. That we call it as a sound. Alright? Now next, such sounds in our everyday life, we hear number of sounds. The sounds coming from the vehicles, the sounds coming from the pressure cookers, the sound coming from the musical instruments, etc. etc. In such a way, in our daily life, we hear number of sounds. In that sounds, some sounds will be very pleasant and some sounds creates some unpleasant impression on us. So pleasant sounds, we call it as music. Pleasant sounds, we call it as music. So music, you already know, flute, guitar, etc. It comes from musical instruments and musicians will compose certain music and that we call it as pleasant sound. Now unpleasant sound means nothing but unpleasant sounds. Means nothing but noise. So we don't like such unpleasant noises, unpleasant sounds, which we call it as noise. Now let us know what are the parts that help us in hearing as well as producing sounds in human beings. Let us go for the parts of speech in a human being. Right? So now, in human being, the major part which helps us to listen the sounds are vocal cords. Right? Now next, lips. Next, teeth and tongue. And next, nose and throat. So these are the parts of speech in our human body. Vocal cords are the major part which produces the sound. Okay? And lips, teeth and tongue, nose and throat. So these all are the parts of speech in a human body. Right? Now next, in today's class, let us go for just a small fundamentals related to this sound. Right? Such as you know about eardrum. So we will have an eardrum in our ear. When this sound energy when it transfers to the eardrum starts vibrating. Okay, that vibrations reach our brain and makes us to understand what kind of sound is produced. Right? So the vibrations created in the eardrum produces the sounds and makes us to understand that particular sounds. Right? And next, whether sound can travel everywhere. Okay, whether the sound can travel everywhere means I will say no. So before giving the answer for this, once let us go for a small understanding about vacuum. Do you know what is vacuum? Vacuum means that particular space where air is not present, dust particles are not present. Totally we can say that it is an empty space. It is empty space. Okay. Now next, medium. Do you know what is medium? Medium means that particular thing which allows either sound or light to pass forward. Medium means that particular space which allows the light or sound etc. to move forward. That we call it as medium. So that medium will be a solid medium, and liquid will be in a form of liquid or in form of gas. The medium may be solid medium for heat to transfer. If we take an iron rod, if you heat the iron rod at one end, after putting off the fire, if you touch the other end, you will feel hot. Your hand will burn. Why? The heat is transferring from one end to the another end. So iron rod is nothing but a solid. So solids, for heats, solids acts as medium. Now next, not only a solid but a liquid, air acts as the mediums which forward the sounds, lights etc. to move in a forward direction. Right? Now, sound can travel only through medium. So sound requires the material medium to travel. Sound requires the material medium. It uses solids, liquids, gases. Totally it requires a material medium to travel in forward direction. An energy which causes the sensation for hearing. Now the units for sound are decibel. It is named after Alexander Graham Bell. The units of sound are decibel. It is named after Alexander Graham Bell, who did many experiments, investigations on this sound theory. Right? Now next, then can we hear every sound? No. Can we hear every sound? Means answer is no. So here sound we will have infrasonics, ultrasonics and visible sounds or audible sounds. Audible sounds. So, the range of these audible sounds will be from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. The range of these audible sounds will be from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. If now these audible we are saying means in between these range we can hear the sounds. Now above 20 kilohertz we cannot listen, below 20 kilohertz also we cannot listen the sounds. Now above 20 kilohertz if sounds are produced, that we call it as ultrasonics, and below 20 hertz if sounds are created we call it as infrasonics. So now ultrasonics, as human beings we cannot listen because our audible range is between 20 Hz and 20 kilohertz. Ultrasonics are heard by grasshoppers, dogs, bats. They can listen these ultrasonic sounds. So ultrasonic sounds are heard by dogs, bats, grasshoppers. These grasshoppers not only listen the ultrasonic sounds, but they are having the ability to produce the ultrasonic sounds. Right? So this is about the audible range which we can listen. So do you know what is the meaning of pitch? Pitch means the shrillness produced in the voice. That we call it as pitch. The shrillness produced in the voice. That we call it as a pitch. Alright. And next, if we go more about this shrillness, that is pitch, which is nothing but a shrillness created in the voice. So now I am writing the pitch of voices in ascending order. Right? Lion's pitch will be less than adult man pitch, which is less than adult women pitch, which is less than child, less than infant baby, less than insect. So this is the pitch of voices. Right? Now let us go for some decibels. What is the smallest decibel, can you say? Smallest decibel, it is 0 decibel. We call it as smallest decibel. Similarly, the different sounds will have different decibels. For example, whisper 15 decibel. Okay, and next normal conversation 60 decibel, landlord mover 90 decibel, etc. Right? Now next thing about sound pollution. Right? So now how this pollution is creating? Only due to the sounds coming from the vehicles, creates sound pollution. The unpleasant noises, the sound pollution comes under the sound pollution only. Then whether we are having any adverse effects from this sound pollution means yes, our health will affect. If we consider our health due to this sound pollution, our health will be affected. Such as due to sound pollution, we may lose our hearing if the sound exceeds 80 decibels. If sound exceeds 80 decibel, then there are maximum chances to lose our hearing. In losing our hearing, not only the loss of hearing, but also the blood pressure will increase, hypertension will be created, right? And now next step, in such a way many health issues will create. Even due to sound pollution, we will find the cracks on the walls of buildings also. So that much adverse effect the sound pollution will create, right? Then how to reduce this sound pollution? How to reduce means the major thing is planting the trees, right? Saving our environment from all these pollutions by planting the trees, which will reduce the sound pollution. Now using the vehicles with the silencers, right? So when we use TVs, tape records in our home, better to tune down the volume of the sound. If we can take such precautions in reducing the sound, then we can reduce the sound pollution and we can save ourselves from this sound pollution. Thank you. Stay with my channel. In my next video, let us go for the deeper explanation about the sound waves, frequency, displacement, etc. Thank you.